Good evening. Thank you for being with us today. You joined our Going Virtual with the PPA. It's our virtual town hall meeting. We thank you so much for spending the time and taking the time to be with us. We're going to start off with some comments by our executive director, or maybe we'll do it by Sue Cornell. She is the senior director for public engagement, and she will do a brief welcome. Please, Sue.
Thank you, and I will introduce you. That is our Deputy Executive Director, Clarina Tolson. And also tonight we have an esteemed panel. We have our communications coordinators. We have Bill Wasser. Give a little wave, Bill. We also have Janelle King. So welcome everyone. We're really happy that you could be here with us tonight, and thank you for participating in our third virtual town hall. Hopefully maybe we have some repeat customers. You have maybe seen some of our other town hall meetings. But to just give you a little information, our communications department is hosting these meetings to explain our work in helping the city and its economy. So for tonight's meeting, we'd like to share with you information about how to use our enhanced e-services. We're going to give you in-depth information about how to use all of our online services. And as I mentioned earlier, we have our staff panel here. They're here to address any issues or concerns that you may have, and of course, answer any questions that you may have about our operations. So again, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we hope you find this meeting informational and helpful. So take it away.
Thank you so much, Sue. Okay, so we have a great agenda for you this evening. You know, during the time of COVID, it is so very important that we operate in a manner that is efficient, but most importantly, safe. So we hope that we will be able to provide you some of our e-services, tell you about our e-services, ways that you can connect with the parking authority in a manner that you don't have to touch something or somebody in the process, quite frankly. So we want to talk about how do you reach us online? How do you take care of certain services via computer or smartphone? There's lots of great services. And guys, we want you to stay until the very, very end, because there's one big, great tip that we're going to be offering tonight that most people do not take advantage of. So having said that, let's start with paying violations online. And the guy I like to call Fly Guy, Bill Wasser, is going to start for us. These two people who are going to be presenting tonight, Bill Wasser and Janelle King, are two people who are usually behind the screen, behind the camera. Today, this is their opportunity to both be our presenters. This is their first time being presenters, and they're going to do a great job. Okay, we're going to start with Fly Guy.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tolson. As Ms. Tolson mentioned, my name is Bill Wasser. I have been with the Philadelphia Parking Authority for about a little over 5 years at this point. I started off as a social media intern. I was then promoted to social media coordinator, and recently promoted to communications coordinator, where, as Ms. Tolson mentioned, myself and Janelle, we inform, educate, and assist customers and residents of Philadelphia through our social media channels, and also assist in coordinating events such as this. And as Ms. Tolson also mentioned, I am also an unapologetic Flyers fan. So if you ever want to talk some Flyers with me, you can just shoot us a DM on social media. But as Ms. Tolson mentioned, I'm going to briefly go through how to pay violations online. Now, when I say pay violations, what do I mean? I mean pay parking violations, red light camera violations, and speed camera violations. Now, in order to do that online, and I know this is probably not the most popular topic, which is why we're going to go through it real quick, but we still want you to know that we have a convenient service available to make those payments effortlessly. So you're going to go to the main page of our website, www.philapark.org, and you're going to see our sleek customer service portal front and center. And you're going to see an option for pay violations. You're going to click that icon. You're going to be brought to this page. On this page, you'll be provided the option to pay a parking ticket, red light camera violation, speed camera violation, or past due red light camera or speed camera violation. Now, with speed camera violations, past due means you have a late penalty. That's the only instance where you would use this icon right here to make payment for past due speed camera or red light camera violations. Otherwise, you would pay your red light camera violation or speed camera violation through the two middle icons. But for sake of example, let's say we want to pay a parking violation. You would just click on the pay your parking ticket, and you'll be brought to this screen. After you read the terms of agreement, which we recommend that you do, you just click agree. And then you'll be brought to our payment portal screen. Now here you can either search your ticket by the ticket number or your license plate number. For this example, I'm going to use an actual ticket number. We did actually have our staff issue some example tickets for use during this demonstration tonight. So I'm going to use one of those ticket numbers. You enter in the ticket number, enter the license plate number, and enter the state of the vehicle. Then you're going to hit search. When you hit search, the ticket number that you search for, along with any outstanding balances on that vehicle, will show up there. But before we get into actually making payment, just a little cool tidbit right here. You can actually click below the ticket number and view the ticket details. You can actually see a ticket printout, as well as additional information above, where it was issued, the time it was issued, and our officers generally take pictures of the actual violation that was issued. As I mentioned, this is an example ticket and looks like what appears to be a floor was issued a parking violation in this case. In normal circumstances, you would see a picture of an actually illegally parked vehicle. So this is just good information to have as you're deciding whether or not you want to pay or dispute a violation. And Janelle is actually going to be talking about disputing violations online in a minute. But let's say I would like to pay this violation. I make sure I have it selected. I click Pay Now. And keep in mind that there's a $3.50 convenience fee for online and over the phone payments. And then you enter in your credit or debit card information, and make sure you provide a valid email address too, because after you hit submit, you're going to receive a payment confirmation to that email. But the process for paying parking violations is really that simple. And using online or over the phone payments is safe, contact-free, and if you need to make payment really quickly to avoid late penalties, that is the way to do it. But I just gave you the rundown on how to pay a violation. Janelle is going to give you the rundown on disputing a violation, which of course you are able to do so online.
Could I jump in real quick we have a question here. I'm just going to take them as we get them. Is there a cost to doing this online?
There is a $3.50 convenience fee for online payments.
Okay. So if you want to get your payment in on time, use without a convenience fee, mail it in to the address that's on your ticket. But if maybe you forgot and it's a little bit later, then going online is probably your best bet. So because you don't want to get a fine. You don't, difference between paying $3.50 and $30, $25, for the first fine, you want to just do it online. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Janelle, take yours.
Hi, no problem. So when you receive a parking ticket, you may not always agree with the violation you receive. We're all humans and we make mistakes. However, when you get a ticket that you don't agree with, you always have the option to dispute your parking tickets if you think they're unfair. So when this happens, you can go online and can dispute your tickets. That would be the second icon next to the pay violations. The online process, I just want to let you guys know, the online process is the same as our previous, in-person hearings. The online ticket disputes are still overseen by a hearing examiner. So we can walk through the process. So when you get to the dispute violations page, you're going to scroll down and select dispute a parking violation. There are two different options on this page. One is a dispute by mail and one is dispute online. We just highly recommend if you do send in your dispute by mail that you send it certified. So that way it's guaranteed that we receive your information.
Very
The
good.
online process is just the same as the mailing process. So we just recommend or highly recommend that you just do the process online. So Bill, if you want to click the dispute violations online, and I'll walk you through the process. Again, we have the terms and conditions. So you're going to click or read, click, and continue. So once you get to the ticket page, like Bill said, you can either search your ticket number. You can search your ticket information by your ticket number or your license plate. So if you don't have your ticket handy, you could just search your information by using your license plate.
Yeah, I'll enter the license plate number for the previous ticket that we had here, if that's okay with you.
That's fine. That works. So you're going to enter in your license plate, the state, and then select search. So when you get to this screen, it'll give you the options of all of your tickets, but you want to select which ticket you would like to dispute. So we're going to dispute the first ticket. If you would select it, and guys, I just want to give you a heads up. There are two different options at the bottom of the page where it says dispute or pay now. You do not want to pay a ticket if you wish to dispute the ticket. Don't worry about penalties or anything like that. Once you start your dispute process, the ticket is put on hold. So while under review, you will not gain any late penalties on your ticket. So we're going to go to the dispute option, and I'll walk you through the rest of the process. So here on this screen, in the left column, if you would like to dispute your ticket with the parking violations branch, and it falls under these categories of a broken meter, having a valid kiosk receipt, sign problems, we can handle those types of issues. Any other ticket matters will be a matter for the Bureau of Administrative Adjudication. So for this case, because it was a meter ticket, we're going to contest our ticket with the parking violations branch. We're going to select the online submission and click go.
We're going to go with the expired ticket, the $36 ticket, right?
Correct. So once you select the ticket which you're wishing to dispute, this screen already populates your dispute information, which is your ticket information. The next selection is your contact information. This is very important because once your dispute process is reviewed, the BAA or the PBB will contact you by mail with your dispute resolution. So you want to make sure that all of your information is correct. Then you hit submit. Well, next. And this screen will give you the reason of why you want to dispute your ticket, whether you had a valid paid session on your mobile app, you had a valid kiosk receipt, or the meter was broken, or any other option. So for this example, we're going to select paid parking session.
And I paid with our mobile payment app Meter Up, or I paid with our mobile payment app Meter Up, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. So I'm going to select that scenario right there.
Yes, because once you hit the paid parking session, it'll give you the drop-down option. Now this option right here for comments is more so for your testimony. We don't know what happened in the situation, so we need you to tell us and be most explicit about your complaint or your encounter for this part. So once you enter your written testimony, and be as explicit or as in detail as you can, so that way we can understand what the problem was. So after you write your testimony, you're also given the option to upload documentation. That be your kiosk receipt. In this case, it will be a copy of your paid mobile session, which can be found in your app. So after you get all of your information, you're going to hit submit. And once you submit this dispute, like I said before, a hold is placed on your tickets, so you don't gain any late penalties while under the dispute process. And once your dispute is completed, you will receive a letter and confirmation in the mail. So now I think we're going to talk about, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted, could you go, oh, never mind. Go ahead.
I have one question here from our audience, and that is, you said you should not pay your ticket and then dispute it. Could you say another 30 seconds on that? What did you mean? What did you mean by that?
Sure. If you pay your ticket, it's basically saying that you're liable for receiving the violation. So we're going to think or, feel that by city ordinance that you're liable for your ticket and you lose your I guess your permission to dispute your ticket. So if you're going to dispute a ticket, you do not want to pay your tickets. Okay. Is that your question?
That's right. And then there's also a time limit for disputing as well, right?
Correct. My apologies. Each ticket, after 15 days, the ticket price goes up. So you don't want to wait to contest or, pay your tickets. Either or, you would like to respond to your tickets in a timely manner. So that way they don't gain penalties or you don't lose the right to contest your ticket.
That's right. So you have a right for a period probably up to a year, but you want to immediately contest them so it does not have any penalties added to it. So as soon as you get your ticket, if you find that it's unfair, or you don't think that's the right ticket, because any of us can make a mistake, then people should dispute it immediately and do that online. Great job, Janelle.
We have another question from the audience attendees. And the question is, can you switch a hearing from in-person to online? And if you want, you guys, I can take that because I'm very familiar with that scenario. The answer is yes, you can. And actually, yes, you have to right now because the BAA, they are no longer offering in-person hearings unless you have a booted or towed vehicle. Then you can have, it's still not even an in-person hearing, but it's an over-the-phone hearing. So if you have a previously scheduled hearing, you can absolutely go online and change that to an online hearing. As a matter of fact, we're sending out notices right now. So if you had a hearing scheduled for, where are we now, December, for January, you will be getting a letter in the mail to actually have the same kind of directions that we just kind of went over to how you can dispute online. So that's a great question. I hope I explained that correctly. And we have another question really quick. Do you still have to pay each ticket separately?
Ooh, that's a good question. I should have.
That is a good question.
You do have the option to pay multiple tickets at once online and over the phone. But just keep in mind, as Janelle went through, you should not pay the tickets that you wish to dispute. So when you're selecting tickets that you either want to pay or dispute, just bear that in mind.
Right. But with our old system, you did have, it was separately. You couldn't pay a chunk of them, but you can now. Yes.
Good. And the convenience fee will only apply one time if you're paying multiple tickets.
Correct. Okay, where do we leave off?
Well, Janelle just got done going over how to dispute violations. We were going to delve into how to make payment on vehicles that have been booted or towed in order for you to have the boot removed from your vehicle or released from a towing and impoundment lot. Now, our first virtual town hall meeting was on that topic, how to beat the boot. But if you happen to miss that virtual town hall, or if your vehicle was unfortunately booted, just know that there are convenient payment options to make sure that the boot is removed or released from the impoundment lot. So you're going to go back to our customer service portal on the main page of our website, and you're going to click booted and towed vehicles. And before I go any further, I just want to give a little refresher on what makes a vehicle boot and tow eligible. If a vehicle has a combination of 3 or more parking, red light camera, or speed camera tickets in delinquent status, the vehicle will be eligible for booting and subsequent towing. So those are the parameters for that. And after payment is made, the vehicle will then be released from the impoundment lot, or the boot will be removed from the vehicle. So say you want to make payment to have that happen. You go to the boot and tow page of our website. I'll back up for just a split second. Click the booted and towed vehicle icon right here. You're going to click pay boot and tow fees. Again, you're going to read the terms and conditions and can enter either a ticket or license plate number. I'm going to stick with the license plate number here, ABC 1234. and click search. Now, if your vehicle is booted or impounded, all the outstanding balances that you'll be required to pay to have it released or the boot removed will show up here. And keep in mind, with booted and towed vehicles, that means that you're responsible to pay any outstanding balances on your current vehicle or previously owned vehicles. And if your vehicle is booted or towed, the boot and tow fee will also show up in this drop-down list here. And when you have all the outstanding balances selected, you go to pay now. And again, this is to the question that the audience member had, that you can pay multiple balances at once. You'll enter in your payment information. Again, make sure you have a valid email address, and then you hit submit. Now, if your vehicle is booted or towed and you make all the outstanding balances, we will be alerted and our boot and tow crew will be dispatched to remove the boot from your vehicle. Typically takes about 2 hours, depending on a couple of factors, such as the vehicle location, or maybe there's a lot of traffic, but we will be alerted and a crew will be dispatched to remove the boot from your vehicle. Or you can go to the impoundment lot where your vehicle was taken and you'll be able to be reunited with your vehicle. Now, mention that the PPA does from time to time have to tow and impound vehicles. And we know that there are situations where you'll come out and think, dude, where's my car? Well, Janelle is going to enlighten you guys on a helpful tool that we have to answer that question.
Sometimes it happens. So the
I had to
PPA
throw that in there, dude, where's my car? It's such a
is fine.
funny movie.
It's like an insider joke. That's what we call it.
A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people are inside on that joke. That's a pretty popular movie, or maybe I'm just getting old. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Janelle.
So the PPA has this really cool feature that helps you locate your recently towed or relocated vehicle in real time. You will be able to see the destination of your vehicle or which lot it is your vehicle is en route to. However, this only applies to vehicles either towed or relocated by the PPA. There are other entities in the city that tow vehicles or relocate vehicles. So if there's construction or street work in your neighborhood and your vehicle is towed or relocated, please contact your local police department because it may not be us. Your local police department or district would have a list of the private tow companies and your vehicle and where it was relocated or towed to. So without further ado, I'm going to walk you through the process on how you relocate your car. So if you click on the third icon under the booted and towed vehicles. Once you get to the screen, you'll see the icon for where is my vehicle. You're going to click here.
Should we change that to dude, where's my car?
We can later.
Discussion for a different day? Okay. It's a pipe dream.
They might not be too happy about it. So once you get to this screen, all you need is your license plate. You enter your license plate number, and then once you enter your license plate, it'll let you know where your vehicle is or where it's en route to. So you'll be able to track the destination of your vehicle and basically like meet it there. So once you get to the next screen, it'll also tell you where your vehicle is and all of the following instructions of how to retain your vehicle. It's very helpful. I mean, it happens.
I just want to jump in for a second too. I know we're very aware because we work for the parking authority and we have pay by plate and all that kind of stuff. So we probably know our own license plate numbers, but not a lot of people do. It's not a common thing to just memorize your license plate. So I just wanted to mention, if you keep doing this to me, Bill, if you go back to that screen, that there's two numbers that you can call. One is the 888-591-3636, and that's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then if it's outside of those hours, you can call the other number listed there, which is 215-683-9566. So even if you don't know your license plate, this page is still helpful for those numbers.
And in the same note, something that we recommended to our customers is that they might want to take a photograph of their license plate and just keep it in their phone so they can refer to it or type that number into maybe their new section under their own information so they can know their license plate. It's important that you remember your license plate. You never know when you may need it. Or further, in terms of documenting information about your vehicle, whenever I park my car using Meter Up, and you'll talk about that in a minute, I always take a picture of the kiosk where I am, so I know the exact kiosk number when I'm sitting in a restaurant or someplace else, so I can know where to pay when I'm off site.
Both very, very, very good points. Thank you. But obviously, we just got done talking about how to locate a towed vehicle or how to get it out of an impoundment lot. But there is actually a way where you can avoid that happening all at once, and that is by enrolling in a monthly payment plan, which we provide in partnership with the City of Philadelphia. And we just recently implemented a way where you can apply for a monthly payment plan online. And here is how you get started with that. You're going to start from the main page of our website. You're going to click on the icon for payment plans. Before we go any further, just a couple of things to know about monthly payment plans. In order to be eligible, you need to have $115 in outstanding balances. And it would be really, really helpful if you have additional information available, such as any outstanding ticket numbers that you have, your current license plate number, or any previous license plate numbers that you may have. And once you have that information compiled, you can click Enroll in Monthly Payment Plan, read the terms and conditions, and continue. Back with this familiar screen once again. I'm going to enter in my license plate number again. And we're going to hit search. Now this is where you should pay attention. This is different than paying or disputing. You're enrolling in a payment plan here. You're not going to want to hit pay or dispute. You are going to want to hit click here to request a payment plan. Once you click on that, please read the terms and conditions of the monthly payment plans. Hit continue. Now here you're going to want to double check, make sure you're entering in the correct contact information, because this is the contact information that our staff is going to use to call you and confirm your enrollment in a payment plan. You will receive a phone call. So it's very important to make sure that you have the proper contact information here. And we're also going to ask that you provide a copy of a valid government issued ID. This helps us verify your identity as we're enrolling you into a payment plan. And you also have a little text box here where you can provide additional information. That additional information being any outstanding tickets on your currently owned vehicle, any license plate numbers of your currently owned vehicles or previously owned vehicles. As much information as you're able to provide, it will help our staff confirm that you're being properly enrolled in a payment plan. You will receive a phone call. I can't stress that enough. Please make sure that you're putting in the correct contact information. And once you are enrolled or you request to be enrolled in a payment plan, your tickets will be placed on a hold. There will be no more additional late penalties, and it would prevent further enforcement actions such as having a vehicle booted or towed for outstanding parking tickets or red light camera and speed camera violations. But that is the process for applying to enroll in a monthly payment plan online. But let's say that you are already enrolled in a payment plan. You can just go back to this screen right here. And if you're enrolled, you'll have a payment plan number. You can just enter the payment plan number and you'll be able to make your monthly payment. We're actually working on a functionality where you can have automatic monthly payments and not having to go to this screen each time. But we're working on that right now. We're hopeful that'll be available in the near future. But that is the process for enrolling in online monthly payment plan. But we've been talking about making payment on parking tickets. I think it's time that we delve into how to avoid them in the first place. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but I'm going to let Janelle talk about one of the PPA's favorite things.
We get so excited talking about meter ups.
We do.
It's quick, convenient, and contact-free way to pay for parking. Like Bill stated earlier, meter tickets are the most commonly issued tickets, but they're the easiest to avoid. So especially if you download the Meter Up app. It sends you alerts before your parking session is going to end, so that way you can re-up your parking session from wherever you are, remotely. You don't have to be at your car or in the zone. You can pay from wherever you are. So if you were here last month, this face may look a little familiar. We have a video from ticketing supervisor, LaRonda Jackson. Bill, if you wouldn't mind playing that video for us.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is LaRonda Jackson. I'm a ticketing supervisor at the Philadelphia Parking Authority. I'm here to answer any questions you have about our mobile parking app, Meter Up. I'm going to help you understand how it works and how to avoid getting a parking ticket. The first step is to go to the App Store or your Google Play Store, and you're going to download the app for free. You're going to create an account, entering your email address and selecting your method of payment. Then you're going to enter your license plate number using the correct state and the correct characters. Entering your license plate number incorrectly could result in a ticket. Now that you've created your account, you're ready to feed the meter with Meter Up. You're going to find your parking zone on the nearest sign or on the nearest parking meter. You're going to select the zone for the side of the street that you're parked on. Now that you've selected the zone, you're going to choose the amount of time that you need to park. Once you've selected the duration for the time you want to park, that will reflect the amount of money that you owe. Now that you've selected the amount of time that you need to park, you're going to confirm your purchase and enjoy your day or night here in Philadelphia. The best part is, if you decide that you want to leave early, you can stop your parking session and you'll only owe the amount of time that you've parked. If you decide that you want to stay a little longer, you don't have to walk all the way back to your car. You can extend your parking session straight from your app. Keep in mind though, different rates apply if you park past the posted time limit. If you have any questions or if you receive a ticket, please feel free to reach out to us on social media. We have team members standing by ready to assist you.
Excellent. I'm going to jump right back in. Can you guys hear me okay?
Can hear you fine.
I just wanted to go back real quick because we had a payment plan question. So the question is the payment plan option available 24/7 or only during working hours? So I hope I'm understanding the question correctly. So you can go online anytime and submit an application anytime 24/7 and submit the application. You won't be getting a call 24/7. You won't be getting a call at 3 a.m. on a Saturday morning to get you enrolled, but you can go online anytime to do that, and then you'll get a call during working hours to actually enroll you. But as long as you go and submit online, you're kind of, I'm going to say, protected from any penalties, enforcement actions. So it's almost the same thing, but you're not officially enrolled until you speak to someone and make your down payment. So I hope I answered your question. If you didn't, feel free to send in another question to clarify. And I'll turn it back over to you guys.
I just want to put a little bit more emphasis on the Meter Up app. Like LaRonda said, you can extend your parking sessions from wherever you are. So you don't have to be at your car. You can be in a meeting, in your office, or in your home and extend your parking session. It saves you money. Not many meters or parking apps can save you money. But in Philadelphia, we're one of the only cities, or the top class first cities, that has this feature on our app. You can stop your parking session. So say if you're only going to be 2 hours, or you think that you need 2 hours, so you pay for 2 hours worth of parking. You return to your car with an hour left of time. You can stop your parking session and you'll be refunded the money that you didn't spend. So you'll only be charged for the money or the amount of time that you stayed where your car was, where you were parked. So it's a great feature. So we talked about meter up and how you avoid meter tickets, but Bill's going to talk a little bit about RPP and how you can avoid those types of tickets.
Thank you, Janelle. And you threw some PPA lingo in there. RPP, what is RPP? An RPP is a residential parking permit. But, you know, you were just talking about a cool contact free service that we offer. We also offer a free contact-free service for either applying for or renewing residential parking permits online. This was recently implemented. We highly encourage people to use it. We'd rather not see a line out in front of our office. We really want people to take advantage of it. So how do you go about applying for, I think we may have a question.
I'm so sorry. And you know what? I may just wait till the end to do this because I don't want to keep interrupting you. But one question that came up, and I think this is very valid, that
Sure.
when you use the Meter Up app, you pay for your first session. It's the regular posted rate. If you go to do a second session that's above the hours that is in that regulation, then you get charged double that rate. And it's not a trick. It's not something that we're doing. It's because you're going above the posted regulations, and the goal of on-street parking is to encourage turnover. So that is why that happens. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add.
Can I add to that? I'll let Janelle add to it, because Janelle did a presentation, or she talked last month, but she did it in the PowerPoint presentation about a little tip that somebody else told us. Now, we're not recommending this. We're not saying that this is our policy, but since people are watching, spending their time with us this evening and hearing about our services, Janelle, can you share what LaRonda actually shared last month, which is not something that we are putting out as policy, but we know that some people do this?
Like a tidbit of information. So what we've heard people do is they pay the parking meter, like you pay your kiosk or your meter wherever you park first. And then if you want to stay longer, you get the zone and your license plate and you download the app. And if you pay through the Meter Up app, it'll be like your first time. So you start your session or you start your parking payment with a meter or a kiosk. And then when you need longer time and if you need to extend your time, then you can go through the Meter Up app and start your parking session.
Not that we're recommending it, but we just heard that people do that.
Yes, just to save people $1.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys. And that was a really good question too. Thanks for bringing it up, you know, right as we got done talking about Meter Up. But let me get back to applying for or renewing a residential parking permit online. The whole process starts from the main page, the home page of our website, and you're going to click Permits. And once you get to the permit page, you're going to scroll down for where it says residential parking permit information. You're going to scroll down just a little bit and you'll see the option here to either renew or apply for a residential parking permit online. Now, before we get into that, just want to clarify some things and make sure you guys know what you need in order to apply for a residential parking permit or renew it. In order to obtain a residential parking permit, you need to have a valid vehicle registration registered at an address within a Philadelphia parking permit district. You will also need to provide proof of residence, such as a utility bill or a copy of a lease or a valid driver's license. Now, the name and address on the vehicle registration and proof of residence, they need to match. They need to match. So when you have those two pieces of documentation available, you go to the online permit portal, and we're back here. You're going to read and agree to the terms of conditions. But we're not going to be looking at the ticket portion this time. We're going to be looking at the permit portion at the bottom. So if you need to renew or apply for a residential parking permit, you're going to click Set Up. Now, if you're a current permit account holder or you currently have a permit and you're just renewing, you can actually just enter in your current permit number or account number and enter in your contact information and continue. But say this is your first time getting a residential parking permit. You're going to want to make sure that you click this little box down here that says, I do not have an existing permit or account number. If you click that, and this is your first time obtaining a permit, you'll be brought to this screen where you need to enter in your application information. Now, as you're filling this form out, keep in mind that you'll see a column for house number and street. So here you're going to put the numeric portion of your address. Like if you live at 123 Market Street, you would enter 123 right here. And then you would put the street name, Market Street, right here. Don't put the numbers and the street name in the same column. But once you have that information, you hit Submit, and our permit staff will then review your application, and once approved, you will receive an email confirmation telling you that you now have an active residential parking permit, and it will request payment. When you make that payment, your vehicle will then have a valid residential parking permit. We're still going to mail out a sticker to you, but once you make payment online, your vehicle will show as having an active residential parking permit, and our officers will check your license plate with their handheld devices to confirm that you have a valid permit. But again, the process is that simple. We highly encourage people to take advantage of it. We would prefer people not waiting in line at our permit office and take advantage of this really convenient feature that we have. And you know, believe it or not, that's not the only new virtual implementation that we've had recently. You can virtually renew or apply for permits, but now if you're in the market for another set of wheels, we do also have a new program for that. And I'm going to let Janelle jump in and speak about that for a little bit.
So with our continuous efforts with trying to keep our employees and our customers safe, we have moved our auctions or our unclaimed vehicle auctions to online. So you can purchase a car from online without ever having to leave your house. So Bill, if we can go to the auctions page, I can walk you through how do you obtain a car or a vehicle from our unclaimed auctions. It's a little similar to the process before, but you need to register online prior to the auction. We want to say at least like a half an hour before the auctions, but you can register at any time, and registration is free. So everything that you would need would be on the auctions page, the link to the registration, and also coming dates and the vehicles that are up for auction.
And just to jump in there a little bit too, Janelle, the auctions are held every Tuesday and Thursday between 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. Like you mentioned, it's free to register. And I got to tell you, they've been insanely popular so far. Since we've implemented virtual auctions, over 3,600 vehicles have been sold, as well as, so that's about an average of 74 vehicles per auction. And just a little bit of a tip if you're thinking about participating in a virtual auction. One of the policies is you can inspect it or give it a test drive, if you will. So you may be wondering if the vehicle actually works. Well, as you're bidding on vehicles, it'll tell you how the vehicle was towed and impounded. If you see an indication that it was towed through a police livestock request, that's a good indication that the vehicle is in good working condition. So just a little tip there. And again, if you're in the market for another set of wheels, our virtual auctions are available.
And just to add,
Can I chime in there, Bill?
Sure.
I may have said it wrong, but the auctions are held every Tuesday and Thursday between 10 a.m. and noon. So it's 10 a.m. and noon on every Tuesday and Thursday. And
That's
also
correct.
relative to those stops, so the vehicles are moving. We don't know what their conditions are, but they certainly are moving and in operation versus those that may have been parked, and we don't know whether or not the vehicle is operational. And there's a lot of cars that are processed, unfortunately, for someone, there's a lot of cars that are processed, probably 70, 75 cars per auction. But if you're in the market for another vehicle or a vehicle, it is a place where cars can be bought or purchased, and they are very inexpensive.
and the vehicles can be viewed daily online. So they're uploaded, about 2 days prior to the auction date for that vehicle. So you can view the vehicle, you can see the pictures of the inside of the cars and everything, all on our website.
Great.
Great, thanks, guys. Now, we're going to get on to another virtual convenience that we've recently implemented. This time, it's not about buying a vehicle, but it's maybe trying to reach out to us about an experience that you had with either a taxi cab, Uber, Lyft, TNCs, which are commonly referred to as Uber and Lyft, and limousine companies in Philadelphia. Now, some people may not realize, but the Philadelphia Parking Authority does regulate taxi cabs, TNCs, and limousines in Philadelphia. So if you ever have an issue pertaining to a ride that you had in any one of those services, you can reach out to us and our team will quickly and thoroughly investigate your issue. And we've recently implemented a way to do that online. So when you start from our website, the main page of our website, you're going to click taxi and rideshare inquiries right there. And you'll be taken to this online submission form where you're going to be able to provide a bunch of information that will help our taxi and limousine division assist you in your issue. Just as an example, well,
What's the most important thing that would be helpful, Bill, for somebody to fill out on here? If there's, beside from their name and their email and contact information, what would be the most helpful thing to help resolve their issue? Or a couple of the most helpful things.
Well, the most helpful would definitely be the pickup and drop-off locations, as well as your trip date and time. But we do ask that you at least be able to try to provide as much of this information as possible in order for our team to do a thorough investigation. One thing I do want to point out, however, is that if your inquiry pertains to an Uber or Lyft ride, we do ask that you upload a picture of your ride receipt. That can be obtained in each app profile. You do have the option to upload that image right here. And another thing I want to mention too, that if you are riding in a taxi cab in Philadelphia and say you forgot your purse or wallet, our team can try to help you find that. They are really good at relocating lost items. And it's not only our team that does a great job of it, it's the taxi cab drivers that are of a great assistance. What usually happens is we will contact the taxi cab driver and they will work with us and the customer to return the lost item. They are not paid to do that. So both taxi drivers as well as our team work in tandem very well in that regard. But the point is, if you have any issue with a TNC, again, Uber or Lyft, a taxi cab, or limousine fare in Philadelphia, utilize this form. Our team thoroughly investigates every issue that they receive, and they will be in contact with you.
I would like to add a point too. Each cab in the city is identified by a P number. So on the rear of the cabs, there is a P number it's a P, and it's like a couple different numbers after that that identify each taxi cab in the city. So if you're in a cab, and I believe it's also in the cab too, so you don't have to be outside of the cab, but if you're in a cab, you should identify that number. So that way we can identify the driver and also the cab.
And you bring up another good point too. If you're taking a taxi in Philadelphia, always request a receipt, because a lot of the information that will be requested here will show up on that receipt. Thank you for bringing that up, Janelle.
Good points. What's our next topic?
Our next topic, we're going to be talking about how our monthly parking customers can make payments at our garages. And Janelle has the stage on that one.
So we have many garages and lots around the city, and we offer monthly parking in those. But each lot is different. So there's different ways that you can obtain a monthly parking, I guess, pass at each lot. So for those different lots, you can go on our website to our garages page, and we can, more so give you information on how you obtain a parking pass for those lots, or a monthly pass for those lots. But monthly patrons, if you are interested, you can go to any garage that we own and visit our management office. And in the management office, they will be able to provide you with an application and also be able to collect your parking application. So that way they can start your monthly parking. So if you go, to the garage page and you select monthly parking payment portal, and I'll walk you through how you make your monthly payments. So once you get to this page, you need to enroll. Whole nother step of enrolling in the payment process. So you need to upload all of your contact information. This would be like the information that's also provided to you from your application. So once you enroll and you have all of that information, you can log in to make your monthly payments.
Okay.
Yeah, it really is a cut and dry process. And as Janelle had mentioned earlier, if you are interested in becoming a monthly parking customer, we do have 7 Center City garages. They have the cheapest rates in the city. And if you're interested in being a monthly parking customer, please visit the management office in the respective garage to get the process started. But again, really cut and dry, and it's a really convenient feature that we've recently implemented. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking about taking a vacation sometime soon.
That sounds like a good idea, right?
But before I get to that, if you're like me, I feel like this is like most people, you like knowing what to expect before you get there. If I don't know, a little bit of anxiety ensues. So when I am flying out of Philadelphia, I always make sure I know what parking is available before I get there. So let's say Janelle and I, we're skipping town this weekend. Where are we going, Janelle?
California.
How do you feel about Alaska?
It's cold in Alaska.
You want to see some grizzlies?
I would like to go where it's warm.
I'm going to Alaska. Janelle's going to California, but we happen to be going to the airport together. But we want to know what parking is available before we get there. Process is very simple. We do provide real-time parking availability for our airport parking facilities. A lot of people don't know this, but the Philadelphia Parking Authority actually operates Philadelphia International Airport's parking facilities. So when you go to our website, you just click airport, and you scroll down just a little bit, and boom, front and center, you are provided the parking availability. So you know what is available, where to park before you get there. You can look at this before you go to the airport from your desktop. But if you're driving there, you could have the passenger in your car check it out on their smartphone. So Janelle, I'll be driving. You're going to have to be giving me updates as we're driving down 95.
I'll let you know where we're parking.
Exactly. And another thing I'd like to mention too is that our airport parking team really runs a tight ship down there, and they love assisting customers, and they're very, very good at it. If you have any questions or any issues, please feel free to contact them. Their contact information is airport@philapark.org. And they can also be contacted at 215-683-9840. But we highly recommend taking advantage of that if you are planning on flying out west like Janelle is.
So aside from vacations, what is our next topic? I want to make sure we leave a couple minutes for some questions at the end.
Sure.
But before we get to that topic, I just like to say, I want to introduce them in a big manner. So we said Fly Guy and the voice, but these are the faces that are behind the screen on all of our social media contacts. So this is one thing I would suggest for you. Use these two guys. They're here, they're available to you. They will work for you. In fact, they're going to be the ones who quarterback any and all the issues that come through social media. So that quiet little secret, here they are. Here are the two secret weapons.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you two guys talk, but I want to give you a lot of credit for being highly responsive to all the inquiries that come in. They read each and every single one, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, no matter where it comes in. They monitor each and every one and then also write the responses. So why don't you go ahead and talk about that a little bit?
Would you like to start, Janelle? Or?
Sure. Well, I would like to say the first best way to reach us is Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Please message us and we're here. We would like to help and we're eager to help you with all of your customer service needs. If we can't help, we will find someone that can answer your questions. So go ahead, Bill, if you would like to take it away.
I'm not quite sure how to follow that. You really put me on the spot here. But no,
Sorry, I just want to jump in because I want to allow for some questions, because then there's one that's kind of pertinent because this is something that you guys do get often, I believe. So I have a question here about what is the process to report a vehicle that is not permitted to park somewhere, say in a residential permit parking area, it's parked over the limit that it's allowed to park there. What is the process to report that?
That's a good question. Janelle, would you want me to take that, or?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, the Philadelphia Parking Authority only patrols locations that have kiosks, meters, kiosks, and residential parking permit regulations. Outside of those locations, the local police district would be best to contact for parking enforcement requests. If it is within an area that we patrol, again, that would be a meter, kiosk, or residential parking permit location, you can call our communications line at, I'll say this slow, so hopefully you have a pen or paper handy, at 215-683-9775. You can call that number and request parking enforcement for areas in which we patrol.
Excellent, thank you. I have another permit question, and that is, I just moved, can I update my permit online?
Currently, right now, you would have to do that in person. It is a $10 fee, but be rest assured that our staff is practicing social distancing guidelines. Health and safety precautions are taking place, but that feature is not currently available online, but we do anticipate not only having that feature online in the near future, but also to obtain temporary permits and day passes in the future as well.
Excellent. And now, Fly Guy, Bill, I consider you our Meter Up app pro. So the question is, how do I delete my information on the Meter Up app?
Without understanding what particular information that they are referencing, I'm not sure I can give a specific answer. If you would like to, I can't give a specific answer. We would need to know what information would need.
So what should they do?
we would recommend contacting the park or reaching out to us on social media, maybe DM us your license plate information so we can look into it further.
Perfect.
Right.
Excellent.
And on that point, Bill, for people,
Yeah.
if you have information that is relative to you, like if that includes your license plate number or your address, don't send that out publicly. Do the message, the DM, so that only Bill and Janelle will be able to see that. Don't put that on the public Instagram or Facebook.
That's
Yeah,
a very
that's typically how we handle them too. People will reach out to us with an issue and we will request that they send us additional information privately to protect your privacy.
yes. Well, that's all the questions I'm seeing. I really want to encourage anyone. I was typing some answers also while you guys were talking. So if I wasn't clear on anything, please feel free to reach out to us. If you have additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us. That's why we're doing this. We want to hear from you. We're here to help. So I want to thank everybody. I feel like I'm doing a wrap up, and I think, Ms. Olson, that's probably your role.
No, you're doing a great job. I would just only add that we have a brief survey that you will receive right after this town hall meeting. If you can complete it, it's very, very brief. You'll have it done in less than 2 minutes. It helps us to know what future topics we should include, or any information that we need to get out or clarify if it was not clear. We thank you so very much for being with us today. We appreciate your time and your effort in listening and sharing your time with us. The questions you were asking were wonderful questions. They were great. And we will continue in this effort every first Thursday of the month to share information about different programs. So we've done some really exciting ones so far. You can check them out online and be around for our next one. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thanks
guys.
everyone.
Have a happy holiday.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.